Well, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for coming to the State of the City Address with Mayor Nancolas. I'm Teresa Harden with the Caldwell Chamber of Commerce, and I would like to thank our sponsors for today, which is West Valley Medical Center and the Hartwell Corporation. We are now going to introduce Pastor Jim, and we will have the invocation.
Welcome. Would you stand? We're going to offer a prayer of invocation, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and then the choir will lead us in the national anthem. Would you bow your heads? Our Heavenly Father, we are so thankful for our city. You created cities, even back in the earliest scriptures. Cities were meant to be places of human flourishing, and God, we sense that in our city, and we are thankful for Caldwell. And as a kid saying, we love Caldwell. This is a great place. God, we've seen a lot happen in the last year. We're delighted that we have College of Idaho football. We're glad, Father, that you have restored our mayor back to health and vibrancy, and he's back on the job. God, your word tells us to pray for the prosperity of the city, because if a city prospers, its people prosper. And God, that's what we look for every citizen of Caldwell, that they would enjoy their work, that their children would enjoy our schools, that families would thrive. So, Father, on this day, as Mayor Nancolas looks back and then looks forward, we're excited to hear what he has to say. Father, bless our city. We pray this in Jesus' name. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Twilight's
Washington Elementary School. They did a fabulous job. Let's give them another hand. It is now my pleasure to introduce to you the CEO of West Valley Medical Center, Betsy Hunsicker. Betsy came to us just a short while ago. She has been in the business of medicine for the last 11 years, and she has moved here with her husband, Jeff, and their 2 children, Charlie, who's 9, and Anne, who's 7. One of the reasons Betsy really wanted to come to a small community like this was to be able to spend more time with her children and to participate in their school activities. So with that, Betsy, we welcome you, and you come up, please.
Hello, and I want to thank the Caldwell Chamber and Teresa and Mayor Nancolas for inviting me here. It happens to mark my 11-month anniversary. I moved here on March 2000, and it's been a great 11 months. One of the things that attracted me to Caldwell was all the opportunity, both at West Valley and within the community. I knew this was a place where I could have an impact. I was thrilled, although not surprised, to discover that all of my new colleagues were already hard at work, volunteering their time and talents to keep our home a remarkable place to live, work, and play. In addition to our staff's efforts as individuals, West Valley is proud to support a number of local charities, programs, and events from Caldwell Fine Arts to Meals on Wheels to College of Idaho Athletics. I'm honored to join an organization that invests so much, not just in the physical health of its community, but in the quality of life for all of its residents. Since arriving here, I've witnessed firsthand the tremendous growth Caldwell is experiencing. And I know, like many of you in this room, that Caldwell is moving in a great direction. And I'm looking forward to hearing the mayor's comments later in the program. But like Caldwell, West Valley is also moving in a great direction. And I'm excited to share with you how we continue to evolve and grow with our community. In 2014, West Valley had one of the busiest years of its history. We delivered more babies, we performed more heart procedures and life-changing surgeries, and we help more patients experiencing emergencies. Over the last decade, West Valley has put an emphasis on elevating the care that we provide. We continue to expand the services we offer. Just over the last year or two, we've added or expanded services in our mental health area, in our spine and neurosurgery areas, wound care, and cardiology, just to name a few. And every year, we treat patients that are more complex and more critical. And that's increasing every year, just the way healthcare is changing and evolving. And truthfully, I think that we're excelling at that. Our infection and admission rates are better than national and state averages. We're recognized by Truven as a top 100 hospital in the United States, and that's a recognition for providing quality care at a reasonable cost. And we're the only hospital in the Treasure Valley to receive an A grade on the most recent hospital safety score from the Leapfrog Group. We've also put a focus on improving employee retention and satisfaction, and I'm proud to say that our efforts in this area have been successful. In 2014, we were ranked number 10 among providers as the top 10 best place to work in the nation by Modern Healthcare, which is a magazine for kind of the hospital administration world. As we move forward, we have a vision of beyond bigger, beyond better. You've heard not bigger, just better. That's one of the mayor's favorites. Are you going to say it later? Yeah. But we like to, I also love it. But beyond bigger, beyond better is really about transcending who and what we are today and moving us to the next level of excellence. Our goal is to meet the needs of the community in our community. And as Caldwell grows and demands more from us, we're prepared to exceed your expectations with the highest quality and most compassionate care in the Valley. Just like the future of Caldwell, the future of West Valley Medical Center has never looked brighter. We hope that you invest your trust and confidence in us, and we want to be your first choice for healthcare. I know that many of you have been delighted with your experiences at West Valley, and I ask that you join us in spreading the word about what a great local hospital you have here and all the great things happening. So with that, thank you very much, and I'll turn it back over to Teresa.
Thank you, Betsy, and thank you, West Valley Medical Center, for being one of our sponsors today. Our other sponsor today is Hartwell Corporation, and I am asking Marty Koch to come up. Marty is an account executive at Hartwell Corporation, and if Marty could come up and say a few words also. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Martin Koch. I'm with the Hartwell Corporation. We've sponsored this event for many years, and we plan on sponsoring again if you'll have us. I was born in the old Caldwell Hospital that Betsy just spoke about. It was a week or two ago. My grandfather came to Caldwell in 1937. I've been going to the same corner, 13th and Cleveland, for 36 years. I guess that classifies me as a local or maybe a native Idahoan. I would like to thank everybody here today who trusts us, the Hartwell Corporation, with your insurance and risk management needs. We have a small contingency today that they can stand up, please. They really love this. Enough of that. We became an ESOP, an employee stock ownership plan, about 2.5 years ago. When you talk to any of us at Hartwell, you are talking to one of the owners. We use a mission statement at the Hartwell Corporation, which briefly says, we're dedicated to professionalism. It is our mission to provide our clients with superior products and services, and our affairs will be conducted so we retain control of our destiny and take pride in all of our endeavors. 2 years ago, we just celebrated our 50th anniversary. It is my privilege and honor today to introduce the mayor. Rather than go through his long list of accomplishments, I'll let him maybe tell you some of them today. I want to introduce the man who's the mayor. And Susan, where's the lamb chop picture? She was worried for her job, I think. First and foremost, he's a husband, a father, and a grandfather. He's a man who loves his family and friends. He has a genuine interest in each one of us. And as you can tell, he's a pretty good shot with a shotgun. He's a man who gives his heart to this community and wants Caldwell to be the best city to raise a family in all of Idaho. Now I'll sit down and let you hear from the man behind the mayor's office, my friend, Garret Nancolas.
Well, thank you very much for that kind introduction. Yes, I love to hunt. Just for clarification purposes, the 8 geese in that picture were not all shot by me. Because that would be illegal. No, it was one of those good mornings I spent with Dave Fisher, and together we shot a limit apiece, and it was a wonderful experience. I'm very grateful to be here with you today. I'm so honored for the privilege of standing before you as the mayor of Caldwell. It's a humbling experience and an education that I will be forever grateful for. I'm so thankful for each and every one of you, for your support, for your kindness, for all the many acts of friendship that you have given to me over the years. I'm especially grateful for these wonderful people to my right. I'm so honored to work with a city council of people who have honesty, integrity, compassion, dedication to the families and businesses in this community. That doesn't mean that we always agree, except for on one thing. We want Caldwell to be the best place for families and businesses that it can be. I'd like to introduce them to you real quickly. To my right, Terrence Biggers, then Jeremy Fife, who is the newest council member to replace the untimely passing of my dear friend and almost father, Jim Blacker. And I don't know how you get Fife out of F-E-U-C-H-T, but it's his story. I'll go with it, okay? Shannon Ozuna, known as Little Red, Rob Hopper, Dennis Carlson, who was the council president this year, and at the end, Mike Pollard. Would you please give them a round of applause and thank them for what they do? I certainly want to thank the College of Idaho for allowing us to use this beautiful facility. The college is certainly one of our most dear partners, and without them, we would not succeed. There's no doubt in my mind that when the college succeeds, the city of Caldwell succeeds. And when the city of Caldwell succeeds, the college succeeds. And we have a partnership that I'm forever grateful for. And so I don't know if there's anybody from the college here, but thank you very much for the partnership and allowing us to use this beautiful facility. Thank you to the Chamber of Commerce, to Teresa, Stacy, Jackie, the wonderful work that they do down there, and our partnership as well. Thank you so very much. Thank you to the sponsors, West Valley Medical Center, not bigger, just better, and to Hartwell Corporation, two companies in Caldwell who are the premium example of what it means to be a good corporate partner. Their employees do so much for the citizens of Caldwell in volunteer work. The partnership that we have with these two great companies is wonderful. I got the frequent flyer card from West Valley Medical Center a year ago, and I am so grateful for the wonderful care that they gave me. And it's not just the care that they gave me during some of those difficult times, but the care that they showed my sweet wife and my children and grandchildren when they were there with me in those hospital rooms. So I want to thank you, Betsy, and your staff for the great care that they gave us. You know, partnerships are the most important thing in accomplishing anything. And we could not be here today without the partnerships of our fellow cities, the county government throughout the valley. These great men and women that are elected officials are truly our partner. And there are several of them here. I cannot see you. Would you please stand and thank them for the partnership that they have with the city and for their service to this community and theirs. Would you please stand, elected officials? And obviously, there's nothing that can be accomplished without the wonderful employees of this city. We are so grateful for these wonderful, dedicated, kind, professional, compassionate, hardworking people. They are an example to me every day and give me the reason to get up and go to work. And at the end of the day, be proud and happy for what we've accomplished. Would the city employees please stand up and also be thanked as well? Thank you for all that you do. Thank you to Mrs. Transtrom and these wonderful students who sang up here today. Was that amazing or what? As a matter of fact, I'm not sure that following them was a very good idea, Susan. We may have to have them at the end next time. But Mrs. Transtrom, thank you. And to those students, thank you very much for sharing your talents with us today. You know, it's hard to believe that it's February 3rd, 2015. It seems like just yesterday, it was Y2K. Satellites were going to fall out of the sky. Computers were going to crash. Our VCRs weren't going to work anymore. Microwaves were going to shut down. Computers were not going to work anymore. Do you remember all that? But guess what happened on December 31st at 12:01 in the year 2000? Guess what happened? Nothing. Absolutely nothing, except we were standing at O'Connor Fieldhouse watching fireworks go off and celebrating the new year. We survived Y2K. Then 2007 came, and we all know what happened in 2007. The market crashed, the economy crashed, property values crashed, and we entered into one of the most difficult financial times that we have seen in this community and in this nation since 1929. Some call it the Great Recession. I think you heard some refer to it, and I called it in my State of the City address as the recession that made us great. And we survived. And not only did we survive, but I believe we prospered. And we learned a lot. Then fast forward to 2012, and the Mayans were wrong. Thank heavens. Because there's so much more to accomplish. I wanted to spend more time with my wife and my children and my family. And I'm glad they were wrong. But we also survived that. Then came 2015. And you know what's amazing? At City Council meeting last night, there were many students there from Caldwell High School. And I mentioned the word encyclopedia. And there was this glaze that went over their eyes. They didn't know what an encyclopedia was. These students have not lived in a time without microwaves, cell phones, computers. They didn't have a clue what an encyclopedia was. And we're to this, right? We're to this now. Everybody smile. Okay. And within seconds, I can post that and have it be on Facebook, and the whole world will see it. Things have changed dramatically. It's a wonderful change. But on that note, parents, beware. The internet and technology is the most wonderful, amazing tool on the planet. But it is also a place where you must be careful what these little ones are watching. Be aware, because there are people out there who want to hurt you and your children. There are sites that no one should view, let alone these little ones. So parents, beware. Now, I want you to consider what life is about and what this city is about. Why are we here? Why do we do the things that we do? I believe it's because of the dash. There's a statement that's made that it's not how many breaths we take, but how many moments in life that take our breath away. Life is about math. Math is where we are the sum total of our life's experiences. And without all those experiences, we would not be who we are. So along with the good comes bad. Along with success comes failure. Along with happiness comes sadness. Along with excitement comes boring, which is what my granddaughter said this speech was going to be. Along with hard work comes fun. But all those experiences together determine who we are as a city, as individuals, as businesses. So we would not want to miss any of those experiences, even though some of them may have not been the most pleasurable. I'd like to read to you a poem by Linda Ellis. I read of a man who stood to speak at the funeral of a friend. He referred to the dates on her tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted that first came her date of birth and spoke the following date with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that we have spent alive on earth. And now only those who love her know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard. Are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the other way, or the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect and more often wear a smile, remembering that this special dash might only last a little while. So when our eulogy is being read with your life's actions to rehash, would you be proud of the things they say about how you spent your dash? Now, all of us will have a dash in our lives at some point in time. And many of us have dashes in our lives now. We work for a company from 1998 to 2015. There's a dash in there. Well, what did you do with that time? There's those of us who have served on the city council. And we'll have a plaque at some time that says, served from one date to another, and the dash. What did we do with that dash? That's what makes life worthwhile, is the dash. And now I'd like to talk about someone who is the epitome of the legacy of the dash. George Crookham was born and raised in Caldwell and graduated from Caldwell High School in 1980. He studied plant science at the University of Idaho with a focus on genetics and plant breeding, graduating in 1986. George met his beautiful bride, Carrie, at the University of Idaho in 1985. They married in 1989, and they have been happily married for 25 years. They have 4 kids, Kristen, Madison, Davis, and Catherine, and 1 granddaughter, Jordan. Starting at a very young age, George worked at Crookham Company. He started in the fields and worked in every possible position in that company, learning quickly that a good leader knows every aspect of the company. George has always been an incredible asset to this community, and he gives back to his community in so many ways, it's hard to even imagine fully listing everything that he has done. He has dedicated his time, talents, and effort in making sure that Caldwell is a community that we can all be proud of. His dedication to the youth soccer program is inspiring. He's one of the founders of the Caldwell Optimist Soccer Club. He has been a ref for 20 years and a coach for 25 years, and has served 20 years as either the president or vice president of that soccer club. George has always been very involved with the Idaho Youth Games since its inception in 1999, running the soccer program. He was instrumental in the capital campaign to build the YMCA, and also serves on the Strong Kids campaign since 2007. He serves on the Caldwell Chamber Board, the West Valley Medical Center Board, the Ag Group in which he was the founder. The goal is to protect agricultural land. George is truly an amazing individual and an incredible example to all who know him. George has been often sought after as a source of information on agricultural issues, and his heart and passion for youth soccer and his willingness to share his time and talents are beyond words. He is truly one of Caldwell's finest citizens in every respect and is deserving of this year's Lifetime Achievement Award. George, would you please come forward and accept this award? It's not very often when you hear from George Crookham, you got me. Because he's always on top of everything. Now see, you thought I forgot to introduce my family, didn't you? I didn't. I held back introducing them until now. Because a very wise man once said, the main thing is to keep the main thing the main thing. It's up to us to figure out what the main thing is. And for me, and I think for this community, the main thing is family. That's why we do what we do in the Dash. That's why we do what we do at city council meetings. That's why we do what we do at budget workshops. That's why we do what we do in our businesses, in our churches, in our homes. The family is the main thing. So I'm going to read a song, if I get through it, and then I'm going to introduce my family. And it goes like this. It's a song by Kenny Chesney. I turned on the evening news, saw an old man being interviewed, turning 102 today. Asked him what is the secret to life. He looked up from his old pipe, laughed and said, all I can say is don't blink. Just like that, you're 6 years old and you take a nap and you wake up and you're 25 and your high school sweetheart becomes your wife. Don't blink. You just might miss your babies growing old like mine, turning into moms and dad. Next thing you know, your better half of 50 years is there in bed and you're praying God takes you instead. Trust me, friends, 100 years go faster than you think, so don't blink. I was glued to my TV when it looked like he was looking at me and said, best start putting first things first. Because when your hourglass runs out of sand, you can't flip it over and start again. Take every breath God gives you for what it's worth, and don't blink. So I've been trying to slow it down. I've been trying to take it in this here today, gone tomorrow world we're living in. So don't blink, because just like that, you're 6 years old and you take a nap, and you wake up and you're 25 and your high school sweetheart becomes your wife. Don't blink. You just might miss your babies growing like mine did, turning into moms and dads. The next thing you know, your better half of 50 years is there in bed, and you're praying God takes you instead. Trust me, friend, 100 years goes faster than you think, so don't blink. We need to remember why we've been placed here on this wonderful earth, and that's to give the talents that our Heavenly Father has given to us and use those for the betterment of those around us. To take the time to do the things that really matter in life, and that's what city government is about, is doing the things that really matter. Today, when there's that dash by the plaque that we will be given as elected officials, what is the legacy that we have left behind? Not everybody's going to agree with the things that we do. Not everybody's going to agree with every decision that's made. But at the end of the day, if we have done those things that really matter and kept the main thing, then it has been a success, and it's been worth all the time and effort. I would like to introduce to you my main thing, and that is my family. Would you please turn the lights on, because I want to make sure that I can see who's here. I can't see a thing from up here. My sweet wife, where's she at? My much better half of 37 years. Matter of fact, February 19th will be 38 years. My son, Caleb, that's Pamela. My son, Caleb, his girlfriend, Tashina. My daughter, Ashley May. My nephew-in-law, Brad Burbank. My brother, Michael Nancolas. Nancolas. Siri says Nancolas. It's a joke. And then this is the other pride of my life, my little sweet granddaughter, Liliana May Haynes. Would you please stand up, sweetheart? The reason she's sitting up here next to Monica is if she sits in the back, Monica's a bad influence on her. So she's up here so she can be a good influence on Monica. So, again, in keeping with the fact, if the main thing is the main thing, then youth and families must certainly matter. Caldwell is the first in the state of Idaho to organize the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council. Caldwell is the first in the state of Idaho to adopt a youth and family platform from the National League of Cities, prioritizing youth and families in budgetary discussions. Caldwell is the first in the state of Idaho to adopt a youth master plan. Caldwell is the first to adopt mentoring policy for employees, allowing them to mentor on company time. Why would we do that? Because we're trying to keep the main thing the main thing. Through that, the Youth Forum for the past 2 years has been, don't be a bystander. In 2013, a partnership with the College of Idaho, Caldwell School District, Valley View School District, and CASA School in Wilder held a conference here at the beautiful College of Idaho. And here's a testimonial from one of the students that attended. His father was diagnosed with cancer, and the student had struggled to keep focused on responsibilities at home and school and friendships with his peers. The Youth Forum helped him to realize the importance of his relationship with his father as his hero. It is a better choice to become better due to life's happenings and help others who might be going through something similar than to be bitter. That was his quote. Student number 2 was abandoned by her mother and other family members. She struggled with feelings of rejection and depression. The Youth Forum helped her to realize that she is important and she can move forward no matter what, to make good choices in education and by building new and meaningful relationships. Those are amazing quotes from two students who attended one of the seminars that was sponsored and put on by the committee that is handling our youth master plan. Why would we allow city employees to mentor on city time? Because when family succeeds and the youth of our community succeed, then so do cities could succeed. And when families fail, the results of that oftentimes end up on the laps and doorsteps of City Hall. So it's important that our students succeed. So we allow our employees to go out and build relationships with students within the schools. Michelle Emmons in the Caldwell Police Department, Tammy Franz at Public Works, Debbie Geyer, the City Clerk, Maria Gigre, Caldwell Police Department, Monica Jones, our HR Director, Fiona May from the Library, Denise Milburn from Parks and Recreation, Susan Miller from the Mayor's Office, Devin Riley, Caldwell Police Department, Cheryl Wendell, Caldwell Police Department, and Frank Wyant, Caldwell Police Department. These great men and women of the city are spending time and keeping the main thing with these students. The results are phenomenal. Susan has had the privilege of mentoring a young girl named Karina. This little girl is legally blind. She was at a place in her life where she was lost, felt alone, felt inadequate, and Susan built a relationship with her that is nothing short of miraculous. These two have bonded, and here's the quote from this confident, amazing little girl. My good news for the day. Karina and I were hanging out yesterday for the first time in 5 years. She pulled out some homework and quietly started working on a math paper. We sat there in comfortable silence for a while, and then she looked up at me with a big smile and said, "Susan, I have all A's and B's," and then simply turned back and started her homework again. Almost every time I get ready to go now, she says, "Now, how long have you been a mentor for me?" And I say, "For life." We laugh, we hug, and we go about our day. That's the magic of the Mentoring Network. Donna Shines and her organization and the partnership with the city are changing lives. They are making a difference in this community. Speaking of the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council, this is something that is a great source of happiness for me. More than 700 students have passed through this program since its inception 15 years ago. We have students that have gone on to become doctors. We have students who are teachers. We have students who are moms. I've had the privilege of performing the wedding ceremonies for many of these students. And it is an absolute source of pleasure and pride to be associated with these great young people who have come through the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council program. It's my privilege now to introduce to you to give a State of the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council for 2015, this year's chair, Ms. Emma Campbell.
Hello, good afternoon. Thank you for letting me speak with you today. As Mr. Mayor said, I'm Emma Campbell. I've had the privilege to serve as this year's chair of the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council. I've gotten to serve this year with my wonderful and hardworking executive board, Janie Waters, our vice chair, Mackenzie Mangun, our secretary, Delphia Lloyd, our historian, and Brandon Hill, our treasurer. All four of them have worked tremendously to keep the council active in our community throughout the year. Also, we have been greatly helped and mentored by Mr. Mayor and Susan Miller, who we have the privilege to work with every day. And I want to personally thank you for your unending faith and belief in the youth of our city. Mayor's Youth Advisory Council is a way for youth in our community to have a voice and to contribute to the improvement of our city. Every year, we try to plan and participate in community service projects. We do these projects not just to fulfill community service hours or to say we did them, but to learn why it is important to do something that benefits others. MIAC is bigger than just a council in our city. It is an opportunity for the youth to learn how to be good leaders, to help others, and how to believe in themselves. Through MIAC, we see how city government works by working with our mayor and some city councilmen, all of whom we have the great privilege of having the strong support from. Also, we have the opportunity to travel to the National League of Cities in the fall and spring to be introduced to the inner workings of city governments around the country, to learn how to write and propose legislation on a federal level, and to work closely with other youth councils from different cities. This year, the council has worked together to host a haunted house at Caldwell's Dare Pal Halloween party, volunteer at Winter Wonderland, braving the rain to help with the kiddie train, travel to Austin, Texas to participate in the youth track at the National League of Cities, ring bells for the Salvation Army, amend our bylaws, and plan for our annual fundraiser dinner. Still on our agenda for the year is our annual fundraiser dinner, which is coming up on February 21st, and the National League of Cities Spring Conference in Washington, D.C., where a group of our students will be presenting a white paper to our congressman. The council this year has worked hard to continue to take part in this community. Together, we have given our time while simultaneously learning lifelong skills in leadership and service. I hope that Mayor's Youth will become an even bigger part of the city of Caldwell. It truly is a great opportunity for the youth to build bridges across all generations in this city so that we can learn and grow together. I have enjoyed being part of the council for my third and final year, and I'm excited for its future here. I would like to thank my peers in allowing me to be their chair this year, and I would like to invite you to give a round of applause to the continued hard work and dedication of our youth in the city of Caldwell. Thank you again for letting me speak today. I appreciate it, and I always appreciate the support of our community that encourages our youth to become strong leaders, as well as encourage them to participate to help others. Thank you.
Isn't she cool? That's an older phrase, meaning awesome. But again, 15 years of that wonderful entity in the city of Caldwell is certainly a source of pride for all of us. These students are great examples of everything that's good in life. Their dedication, commitment, and humor is always a source of inspiration for me. Here's another note from a past Mayor's Youth Advisory Council member, Marissa Nestor. Thank you. Mayor's Youth Advisory Council was the only extracurricular activity that touched my soul while in high school. What a profound statement that is. It touched her soul. Again, helping to change lives. People make this community great. That's what Caldwell is all about. That's why Caldwell is a great community. People like Earl and Judy Priest, who have opened their doors, their hearts, and their compassion, and have fostered over 200 youth in their lifetime. They are the proud owners of Priest Electric, another example of great business owners in this community. Jim and Sharon Porter, who came into this community and literally set it on fire with their love and enthusiasm, forming Love Inc., an organization to help others. Simply to help others. These are great people. They come to city council meetings all the time. I've told Pastor Porter that he needs to get a life, if that's his only form of entertainment. No, we appreciate you so much. Jim and Sharon Porter are wonderful examples of why this community is great. Rob and Nancy Roberts, the owners of R&M Steel, who donated a building to the Parks Department that is under construction and will be open later this fall. Bob and Elaine Carpenter. I don't know how Carpenter screen printing stays open with as many hours as they donate to this community. Bob Carpenter has spent countless hours on the downtown committees over the years, helping to create Indian Creek, and now on the downtown committee regarding the plaza. Elaine Carpenter has been a city council member and has worked years on the Historic Preservation Commission, helping establish the Steunenberg Historic District in Caldwell. Chuck Randolph, what a man. He has spent countless hours in the education system and in numerous volunteer efforts, helping Caldwell become the great place that it is. Mike and Janie Groff from Ripley Dorn here in Caldwell, another example of community leaders who share their time and their talents, most often known for their work with the YMCA. We honor our veterans in Caldwell. We love and appreciate everything that they have done for us and their families. We honor your sacrifice. We appreciate your commitment to freedom. We appreciate the defending of the freedoms that we enjoy year after year, decade after decade, century after century. The things that we enjoy in this country and this community are largely because of the dedication of our military personnel. Would you please help me thank all those veterans, those that are active in service now and those who are retired. Would you please thank them very much for their service. One of the wonderful things that we did in 2014 was to make the commitment, move forward and purchase the old Carnegie Library building. It will be the home of the Veterans of Foreign Wars, the American Legion, and the Disabled American Veterans groups. These groups will come together to offer services for the families that so desperately need their help. Also a meeting and gathering place for military veterans, both active and retired. It will also be the home of activities for the Coast Guard Auxiliary, the Military Order of the Purple Heart, and the Marine Corps League. I cannot think of a more noble or honorable effort of the City Council than to preserve the history of that building and by honoring our veterans and the partnership that has been formed. We also have a community garden that was the idea of the Board of Realtors here in the City of Caldwell. I'd like to thank Gail Strack, Randy Jensen, Dan Pugmire, and Tracy Casper for their efforts in making this a reality, a peaceful place for our veterans to go and have a wonderful time growing vegetables in our community. And we hope that they will take those vegetables and take them to the farmers market in Caldwell, and what a great partnership that would form. We would like to thank the Sheriff Donahue, and the inmate labor detail, because they have put in thousands of dollars worth of hours of volunteer effort into helping us turn the old Carnegie Library into a Veterans Memorial Home. I'd like to thank Terry Harrell and John Muirhead and the other leaders of these organizations. John and Terry have been down at that building countless hours, making sure that this project is moving forward. Without these two individuals' efforts, this would probably have come to a standstill. And then all those that work with you, Terry and John, thank you so very much for your efforts. Community growth and development. That's a topic that is at the top of everybody's minds. In 2007, as was mentioned, we entered into a very severe recession. This city lost more than 1/3 of its assessed value in a very short period of time. When that happened, property values going down meant that the levy rate went up. And even though the levy rate went up, revenues at the city level reduced. That's a very difficult combination. Higher levy rates, lower revenues, yet still the demand from our public to receive services that were effective and efficient. The council had to make difficult decisions during that period of time. But because of the decisions they have made, we have built a foundation where, again, we not only survived the recession, but we have prospered. We have started decreasing the levy rate again, and our goal is to continually decrease it over the next few years to get it below 0.099. One of the ways that we will continue to drive that down is to create jobs in this community. The partnership with Caldwell Housing Authority, Mike Dittenberg and his great board of directors. We have partnered to create the Farm Waste Sewer and Water Project. This is opening up the west and north side of the Boise River to infrastructure. We have water and sewer that now will be available to not only Farmway Village, but to businesses and development that choose to build and develop in that area, bringing jobs and economic development to our community. Why would we do that? Because it's part of keeping the main thing the main thing. Our citizens need jobs in this community, good paying jobs. We need housing opportunities that people can afford. This will help us accomplish that in an area of Caldwell that to date has been undeveloped. Also this year, we decided to invest in the expansion of the Caldwell Event Center. We purchased 10 acres of ground known as the Norman property right next to the existing fairgrounds and rodeo grounds. It is our intent to continue to master plan and partner with the College of Idaho, the County Fair, and the Caldwell Night Rodeo, where the cowboys are the stars, and provide an event center that is second to none. We want to make sure that we have an event center that fits the needs of everyone in this community. That is a wonderful investment in our families, in good, wholesome activity. Another decision that was made was to invest in the waste treatment plant, to make sure that our capacity is strong, that we have available capacity for businesses and homes that want to come into our community, building up the tax base and allowing economic development to move forward. In 2012, we took over operations of the wastewater treatment plant. But in 2013 and 14 is when we first realized what the savings of that wise decision might be. Operation costs were reduced from approximately $1.6 million per year under a private contractor to less than $500,000 per year under city personnel costs. That is a wonderful savings for the citizens in this community. Now you might ask, why didn't my sewer bill go down? I'll answer that question for you. And that's because of the proposed changes from EPA in the NPDES permit for our treatment plant. The costs of meeting these new rigorous levels for phosphorus and potentially temperature will cost us millions of dollars over the next few years to comply with. We believe this is wise planning and good decision-making so that when these new rules are promulgated and we're required to comply, we will be able to fund these improvements without bonding. That's a really big deal, without bonding. Because you see, when we have to bond, that means you pay interest. And that interest goes on and on. And so a $10 million project can easily become a $20 million project if we have to bond. But because of the wise financial decisions that this council has made, the great financial policies that have been put in place by this council, we will be able to fund those improvements without bonding, saving our ratepayers millions of dollars over the next few years in interest payments that will not now be necessary. That's a really big deal. Thank you for your wise decision making. I also want to acknowledge the efforts of Grant Orton, our Public Works Director, and the staff at the treatment plant for helping us make these decisions and making our treatment plant efficient and effective. It's also important that we move forward with economic development. There have been many policies put in place to encourage expansion of our existing businesses, to encourage growth residentially, and to encourage commercial and industrial growth in the city of Caldwell. Over the last few years, we have implemented the foreign trade zone in the city of Caldwell, in and around the Caldwell Industrial Airport. We have implemented a job creation grant through the Caldwell East Urban Renewal Agency. We have also made dramatic improvements in the infrastructure in the area of Exit 29, making the development costs for the industrial park and for businesses around the airport much lower as they come into our city. We believe with the efforts of the Economic Development Council now Steve Foltz, who is now a city employee, and with the wise decisions and policies that have been put in place, that construction value will continue to increase. And you can see in 2011, 12, and 13, and 14, we've seen dramatic increases in residential growth and in commercial and industrial building permits. That is a great addition to our community. That also means new jobs. We want to have jobs for our families to stay in this community. We want jobs for our students as they graduate from college to stay in Caldwell. It's important to have jobs that provide benefits, that provide wages where they can support a family. Caldwell has done its fair share, but this is certainly the principle of rising tides. We are so glad when we see new jobs created in Nampa, Mayor Henry. We are so glad when we see jobs created in the county, Commissioner Dale. We are so glad when we see jobs created in Meridian, Mayor DeVeerd. And we are glad when we see jobs in Boise, Mayor Beater, because we all benefit when those things happen. But we've done our share. We worked hard with local businesses, with the economic development groups in Caldwell to create jobs in this community. And you can see, since 2010 through 2013, we've gone from 13,190 jobs to 18,255 in the city of Caldwell. That's a 38% increase. We are doing our part. And we will continue to work hard to provide a community where businesses want to come and families want to live. We welcome many of the new businesses in 2014, and we appreciate the fact that they wanted to come here. So is it the fact that we've generated these jobs the important thing, or is it the fact that our employees are building relationships with the development community that is the important thing? Obviously, they're both important. But here's what some of these developers have to say about the great employees at the city of Caldwell. Gale Manufacturing, who you just saw in the newspaper, announced that they're building a new company in Caldwell, plans to build a new manufacturing facility in Caldwell to replace an existing facility in California. Chief Financial Officer and Founder Jim de Blasio, I love Idaho for a lot of reasons. It's a great place to operate a business, a great place to live, and it's a wonderful community. Our experience has been wonderful here. That's a great tribute to the red carpet team and the development personnel at the city of Caldwell. A new grocery store and restaurants coming to Caldwell. Building owner, Travis Stroud. This is according to the Idaho Press-Tribune. Caldwell's got a lot of good energy. People want to be here. The city is easy to work with, which has been very helpful. Again, a testament to the quality of individuals we have working at the city of Caldwell. From Skip and Doug Oppenheimer, Mayor Nancolas and other city leaders provided literally the best responsiveness, cooperation, and proactivity of any city leaders with whom we have worked. What an honor it is to have that said about our city from these two great business individuals. Doing business in Caldwell, Tommy Alquist, COO of Gardner Company, who built that beautiful new building right next to West Valley Medical Center, the tallest building in the city of Caldwell now at 4 stories. But this is what Tommy had to say. And I apologize, I didn't write this. Mayor Nancolas is a tremendous leader. He has put together a clear vision for Caldwell that will continue to attract business and economic development for years to come. Now, I humbly submit to you that that vision was created by many, many people. It's just my privilege to be a part of it. As we look at opportunities and communities to work in, Caldwell is at the top of our list, and we hope to work with them on projects in the future. One of the main areas of emphasis for our upcoming year is downtown Caldwell, and yes, a creek runs through it. It's amazing how many places I go now where when Caldwell is mentioned, they talk about the creek. They talk about the lights. They talk about the wonderful experience coming to downtown Caldwell. That is a change of attitude among those around us, and we are so grateful for that. We're grateful for the great street department employees and other volunteers and other departments that put those lights up. Granted, We spend about $30,000 a year on the lights on Indian Creek. But I cannot think of a better advertising campaign that would produce more results for a better investment of dollars than what we invest at Indian Creek. People come to our community and bring their families and walk around downtown. I had the privilege of standing under the gazebo on the weekend after Thanksgiving, and there were hundreds of people downtown. You could not find a place to park. Families holding hands, walking along the creeks of Caldwell. That's keeping the main thing, the main thing. I'd like to thank the Downtown Caldwell organization and the work that they're doing right now in helping us put together a plan for a plaza downtown. We appreciate their vision, their input, and look forward to the report here in the next few months. The City of Caldwell Framework Master Plan has been adopted for several years, and it is our goal to implement that plan as many pieces as we can over the next 3 years. The downtown is the heart and soul of your community. We want to see that downtown alive and vibrant again, and we believe we have the pieces in place to make that happen. Another part of keeping the main thing is providing parks and pathways for the citizens of Caldwell and those who come here to visit. Caldwell has approximately 310 acres of parks, which, if I may brag for a minute, is more acres of park per thousand than any other city in Treasure Valley. The reason we invest in parks is because it's a great place for families to have wholesome activity, to get exercise. There are 6 miles of pathways in the city of Caldwell, and we are working on more. We have a great Parks and Recreation Department that provides opportunity, both recreational opportunity and park opportunities for all the citizens in our community. We're very grateful for their hard work. You can see here in this picture just an example of the many people who enjoy our parks in the great city of Caldwell. And when you hear these kids running and jumping and laughing, and you see them scrambling for the Easter eggs at Easter time, it helps you understand why this is important. We appreciate the volunteers at the Greenbelt. Brian Billingsley and his Pathways Committee have put together work projects who have cleaned up the Greenbelt and continue to invest in the Greenbelts throughout Caldwell. Now, you have mileage markers around the Greenbelt so you know how far you've gone. We have plans to continue to expand the Greenbelt, as the City Council has authorized the purchase of the 3 properties at the end of Plymouth, or next to the old Silver Bridge, along the Boise River. We now have the capacity to build a park in commemoration of the Oregon Trail, which runs right through those properties, and it is our goal to also expand and complete the Greenbelt so that it connects with Curtis Park. That is the vision of Bill Gigray and the Greenbelt Path Committee for many, many years, and we believe that we now can make it a reality. Education in the city of Caldwell, we could not be a community that is successful and takes care of our children without the wonderful, wonderful education partners that we have in this community. The College of Idaho, Treasure Valley Community College, the Valley View School District, Caldwell School District, Heritage Community Charter School, Thomas Jefferson Charter School. This is where education happens. This is where empowering our youth happens. This is where keeping the main thing happens. We've developed a partnership, again, with Republic Services. They're the trash haulers in our community. And they've developed a program in partnership with the city of Caldwell, where part of the funds that are collected from recycling go to the Caldwell P16 program and the Valley View Avid program to make sure that these students have these programs available for them for many years to come. Education is also an economic development tool. I have their economic development seminar. And do you know what the number 1 criteria is that a company looks for when they come to a community? Workforce. Treasure Valley Community College, the College of Idaho, are helping us provide that workforce for these companies that are looking at coming to Caldwell. It is a worthy investment to provide education to everyone that wants it. And with these great partners, we are able to do that. It also doesn't hurt having football back in Caldwell again. Was that cool or what? That was exciting. I've never seen so much purple in my life. It was awesome. The College of Idaho was our partner in helping redevelop Simplot Stadium, putting in a synthetic turf field, doing ADA upgrades, a new football field and scoreboard. But the most amazing thing was watching those freshmen and sophomores who didn't know that they weren't supposed to win any football games compete with juniors and seniors across the Frontier Conference. They won 4 games. They could have won several more. They were in them to the end. But what was even more amazing was watching the thousands of people inside Simplot Stadium. That's football fever, folks. That is awesome. They did their report. The first season alone was a $4 million impact to the city of Caldwell. That's partnership. That's partnership. We've also partnered with the College of Idaho to complete Wolf Field. As you know, that is a state-of-the-art baseball facility in partnership with the College of Idaho. It's known as Wolf Field. The generous donation of Gray Wolf and many other benefactors have made this project possible. We fully believe that through this program and the football program, we will be able to bring high school tournaments, college tournaments, and these fields are available for the youth of our community and provide opportunity that did not exist before. Another part of keeping the main thing is making sure that our families and children are kept safe. Oftentimes, we look at a crime index and really don't know what that means. But I think this slide shows very effectively where Caldwell is in the overall realm of things. We have worked extremely hard over the past decade to drive crime down, to remove it from our streets, to send a loud and clear message that crime will not be tolerated in the city of Caldwell. And with our partners, the school district, the Mayor's Youth Advisory Council, the Mentoring Network, the YMCA, and all these other programs, we are succeeding. So what you see before you is a graph that compares the city of Caldwell's crime index to cities of our own size. It's really not fair to compare us to Nampa or to Boise or to Meridian because of the population variances. So we went and got the 6 cities, 1, 2, 3, 5 cities. Education is important. 5 cities that are our same size. And the reason that this is here is not to say that those that have crime slightly higher than ours is a bad thing. These are wonderful cities. Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Resort community. People pay 3 times more for a home there than what it's worth. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean that, sorry, Mayor. But what I mean is these are great communities. Coeur d'Alene, Twin Falls, Pocatello, Idaho Falls. They're all cities of similar size. And our crime index is lower than 3 of them and just slightly higher than 1 of them. That means we're succeeding. Our police department and everyone that works with them is doing a fantastic job. Now, this is the other part of it that is just a staggering comparison. Look at the assessed value of these cities. Caldwell is the lowest. That means that we have less dollars to work with to fight crime than these other communities. Also, take a look at the budgets for their police departments in these other communities. And again, I'm not saying that their budgets are too high. I want you to know how effective and efficient our police officers are with the revenues and money they have available to do the job that they do. Again, we have the lowest crime rate except for 1. We have the lowest assessed value except for 1. And we have the lowest budget, period, of all of them. That means we are doing an efficient and effective job because of our partners and the way we do business in the city of Caldwell. Congratulations to the police department. But is that what makes them great? Is that why the city is great? Or is it because they care? Monica Jones came into my office today and told me that she did a ride-along with Sergeant Myron Kershaw. And one of the calls that they went on was an older gentleman had passed away. And so the police department goes just to make sure that there's nothing awry, but they go into these homes. And Monica came back to me and said that what she was most amazed with is how kind and gentle Myron was with the family members. So the crime index being low is a great thing. But these officers are more than that. Take a look at what they've done throughout the year. The Shop with a Cop and Community Halloween Party are just two examples of these police officers and those that work with them in administration. They take of their time, their talents, and their effort to go out into the community and build relationships and let people and children know they care. That's keeping the main thing the main thing. The Caldwell Fire Department. Again, this graph is only to show you what we have to work with. Our police department, I would say, is really efficient. It costs the citizens of Caldwell $982.33 per call. If you compare that to communities around us, you'll see that we are the lowest. And again, that doesn't mean that these other communities are doing anything wrong. The only reason I show this graph is to show you how effective and efficient this department is being managed. Chief Wendelsdorf and those that work with him and those great firefighters go above and beyond the call of duty. They work with very, very, very little resources, but they do a great job. We find year after year that the fire losses continue to go down. But is that what makes them great? No. It's doing things like Climb, Conquer, Cure, the money they raised for leukemia and lymphoma. They raised $14,000 for MDA in their Fill the Boot campaign. They partnered with local businesses to help a family with special needs. And then this is the thing that I still am amazed at, is these firefighters put together a fundraiser and rode bicycles all the way to San Francisco, California, to raise money for youth that have heart problems. The Jaden DeLuca Foundation was at the center of this, and our firefighters put together this event because they care. That's what makes them great. That's keeping the main thing, the main thing. We are blessed to live in this great community. The Caldwell Night Rodeo, where the cowboys are the stars. We are so grateful to have this event in our community because it brings families together. We're grateful for our partners, and you can see those listed on this slide, and we're grateful for the services that they provide for our community. Family events sponsored by the city, Movies for a Cause. The Chamber Farm to Fork event was a wonderful event, Teresa. The 4th of July celebration, the Indian Creek Festival, the Chamber Nightlight Parade, Winter Wonderland, bringing thousands of people to our community. Thousands of people to our community so that they can also experience what makes Caldwell great. We've talked a lot about facts and figures. We've talked a lot about important things. We've talked a lot about fireworks, right? But it's my submission to you that we do many things that make us a really good community. But it's the things we do as individuals, the compassion, the heartfelt service that is rendered by the people that we've mentioned in this State of the City address today, that make us a great community. And it is our hope and our belief that as we move forward into the coming years, that we have the policies in place that will help Caldwell continue to thrive. We have the fiscal policies in place that will allow us the funds that we need to do the necessary projects to provide the infrastructure, the parks, the roads, the streets that we need to make Caldwell the greatest place that we can for businesses to thrive and families to succeed. We believe that we have the economic development policies in place that will continue to help us create jobs and help those businesses that are here to survive. Those businesses that are here that want to expand, the ability to expand, that they will find a great place to live, work, and play for their families. We believe that Caldwell is the treasure of the valley. And it's because of all of you, the things that we have done together, that we've achieved that. May God bless each and every one of you in your efforts to keep the main thing, the main thing. Thank you.
Nice job.